Hello Internet, welcome to Let's Have a Look at Mass Effect 3. No, there was no scaling here. I don't know how, but I somehow managed to record nearly an hour of this game in 1080p without running out of hard drive space. But doing this post-op, obviously, I'm just kind of sort of going here in the menu, going over some of the things I find kind of stupid right at the menu level. Basically, the start menu. I never really understood the purpose of that in console games or PC games. And there's also the connecting to EA servers for no reason. Here I'm just kind of looking over the options, which is stupidly hidden under extras. I really don't understand that either. Going over key bindings a bit as well. My custom rebinds. By the way, the save function is completely disabled in the demo. I don't know why. And well, just for the sake of full disclosure, the preview window I'm watching here is running at a very poor frame rate. Here I was just kind of, whoa, okay, I just jumped ahead. I'll get back to the earlier points. Right now I'll just go over this. This is just, this I find kind of nice, that you get the choice here to decide how you're going to play right before you even get into the game. I don't really see any reason to play a game series that's traditionally been relatively RPG-like, and then decide to play it in action movie mode. Troll name. You're going over character creation. I went with a custom appearance, and I didn't really go into a whole lot of depth on the adjusting things. I just kind of found a preset that looked pretty good and decided to stick with it here. And while I look around here, I can go back to the earlier point. I was kind of sitting at the graphics menu, doing nothing for a few seconds. Because, man, basically, it was kind of like just sitting there staring at the screen in disbelief at the absolute lack of graphical options. I mean, really. Resolution, anti-aliasing. One other thing that I can't even remember what it was right now. And really, that's it. Nice console port, EA, BioWare. God. Still going over all these character creation things. And I assume these are only here if you're making a character after not having played either of the previous two games, which would be my case. Since one of the things that really gets praised about the series is the way your actions in one game perfectly affects whatever happens in the next game. Something Deus Ex could have learned from. Maybe Invisible War wouldn't have been such a pile of garbage if they would have actually... no, they changed too many things for that game. They made too many bad decisions with that. Of course, you're going to see quite a number of jumps and cuts here. I didn't record the whole whole demo. I just...
If we're gonna have any chance,
well, the intent was to record bits and pieces, but in some cases I ended up recording quite a bit longer than I intended.
Admiral, we've lost contact with Luna Base.
So I guess I could get onto my impressions on the graphics.
How they get past our defenses?
The faces look pretty damn good.
UK headquarters has a
Character
visual.
models, faces, that sort of thing. Animation, after LA Noire, the facial animation isn't very impressive at all. Let me unplug my headphones here so I'm not getting background sound coming from there. But I mean, generally the game looks pretty good, especially for a consport. There's another jump because the original intention was just to record bits and pieces. But I have to say that first and foremost, for full disclosure, while the Fraps was running, I was getting, I'd say, approximately 20 to 28 frames per second on average. Without Fraps running, it rarely dropped below 30, and this is at absolute maximum settings. I mean, at first glance, you might think, hey, that's great, your computer can run it really well. Except this computer, this December, this computer is going to turn 5 years old. If a machine this old and outdated can run this game at max settings with such a great quality, that doesn't say a whole lot about the game, or a whole lot good about the game's graphics engine, or graphics as a whole. Now, getting back to the graphics point, yes, I know, blah blah blah. Gameplay is more important than graphics. And cue the requisite. I'd rather play a game that looks 8-bit and plays good than a game that looks great and no, you wouldn't. I highly doubt most people that say that sort of thing would actually play a brand new AAA. Oh, here I'm just confused because I specifically turned off hints and action icons, and it still pops up because mandatory tutorial. God damn it. Anyway, returning to the points, I highly doubt most people. Holy shit, that texture is terrible. I mean, I just stared at this thing because, my god, are we in 1997 again? No, 1997 graphics had higher resolution textures than that place. It's ridiculous. Yeah, to finally finish the graphics points, I highly doubt most people would actually. Most people that say gameplay's better than graphics would actually play a 2011 AAA game that looks like it was made in 1992, but played quote unquote well. And oh my god, that cube map reflection! What is wrong with it? What were they thinking? That is. Super Nintendo images had higher resolution than that.
You read me? I'm patching in
Let's see.
Shepard.
The texture fidelity in many areas that are not the characters' faces is abysmal. It's like
Say again?
2004 quality at best.
Come on, we gotta move.
Hell no, I remember Doom 3 not looking this bad in terms of texture resolution.
Husks, take him out.
There's an obvious lack of, bump mapping and that sort of thing on most things that are not, once again, character faces.
Come on, we gotta move.
That cube maps such as the one on that giant window I pointed out, are just awful. And of course there's that fancy lens flare effect that I first saw in Crysis 2 that's completely unrealistic. Yeah. I mean, I know, yada, it's a sci-fi game, it's not supposed to be realistic, but for God's sake, light doesn't work that way. Looking at a source of light does not make a blue horizontal streak appear unless you're literally looking through a digital camera lens. Or not lens, the viewfinder of it.
Gotta find a way out of here.
But other than those discrepancies, the graphics generally look alright. Surprisingly good for a console game. And it don't fool yourself, it's a console game through and through. I recorded this clip because of course it didn't happen when I turned on the Fraps recorder, but while I was playing off camera, every time I would get close to the guy to try to melee, he would just keep pushing me back.
Through this way.
Anyway. Yeah, graphics generally look decent for a console game, despite all those flaws. The shadows actually kind of surprised me.
Hey,
In the sense that they don't flicker anywhere near as much as I've come to expect from console games. I mean, sure, they certainly do in quite a few areas, but in general they're higher resolution and they don't flicker on and off nearly as much as
someplace safe.
I've seen in so many other games
You can't
with
help
a
me.
console primary platform.
Shepard,
Well, and here's that little
here.
kid in the vent scene that a lot of people seem to be annoyed with. And, well, I don't know. I didn't really find it all that bad. Then again, I don't think I've ever watched Aliens 3.
this is a goddamn
So,
mess.
I've heard it claimed that it was basically a rip-off of that scene.
Every minute these machines are here, thousands of innocent people die.
But, again,
I won't be
I never saw it. Wow,
It's hard enough.
I didn't realize while playing just how
It's worse
bad that
knowing no
wall
matter how
texture
hard you
looked.
try. You can't save them all.
Of course, you got all these metal textures.
Exactly.
It just looks terrible. Oh my god.
It's so
This is
fast.
2012, people.
I thought we'd have more time.
This is 2012,
We knew they were
and
coming.
we're
And they
still
just cut through our defenses.
putting out graphical fidelity that was
need to go to the
surpassed
Citadel.
by games on
Talk to
older
the council.
engines
The Citadel.
almost a
The
decade
fight's
ago.
here.
It'll be everywhere soon enough. You said it yourself. The
Ridiculous.
Reapers will destroy everything if we don't stop them.
On to the other points of the game.
Council has to help us.
Well, the gameplay was,
You sure about that? No, but you
to be
were a
perfectly
council
honest,
spectre.
it felt like
That
a
has to count for something.
less clunky version of Gears of War in terms of gameplay. Very much cover-based for the third-person shooter. What the hell did I
Thanks.
almost say first? Very
owe you
cover-based
one.
third-person shooter when you're in the
More
gameplay
than
and
one.
not in a gigantic cutscene.
Grab some ammo.
That I honestly don't mind too much because,
Reload. Let's keep moving.
well, the cutscenes don't suck at all in the game from what I've played in the demo, so having a lot of them really doesn't bother me.
Come on. It hasn't been that long since
Yeah.
you handled the weapon.
It's very much cover-based third-person shooter with a few special abilities. I do, however, really like the added tactical element of being able to pause the game with, I think by default
Lieutenant
it's
Commander Williams, we're in flight at the
shift, but
spaceport.
screw default
ETA 3
controls.
minutes.
And, you know, assign your little squad mates to use some sort of
Lieutenant Commander.
special function
Ashley.
or ability.
They're in trouble.
Alright, I gotta go back to the graphics again. Holy fuck. I have seen higher resolution grass textures in fucking Doom 1993. You gotta be kidding me. Who thought it was a good idea to make that resolution or texture that low fidelity? Just because otherwise the terrible outdated consoles this is
Normandy,
made
we're going to reroute.
primarily
Copy.
for might have some trouble
Normandy, come
running
in.
it. Ah,
Friendlies.
but continuing on the gameplay, it's nice to see that in the single player at least, your health,
You two all right?
unlike Mass Effect 2, which I
They'll see you.
admittedly only saw about 20 videos of a playthrough in, about 20 minutes apiece.
Keep your head down.
Fortunately, you know, your guns actually have ammunition, and
Nice
I
shot.
don't know, I think in Mass Effect 2 made them have ammunition instead of unlimited spam magic thingies everywhere. And it's very refreshing to see that you don't have regenerating health this time around, at least on the difficulty I played, which is combat difficulty insanity. I mean, it's pip. Well, yeah, you do have regenerating. It's just pip-based, which is far less obnoxious than sit behind cover, breathe really hard for 5 seconds, and magically it's like you were never hurt at all. And of course, I did play the combats on the maximum difficulty. It's refreshing to see there's actually a modicum of challenge.
Finish them all.
Even if the challenge mostly involves sitting behind cover until it seems safe to pop out and shoot a couple times. It's actually somewhat challenging, which is ridiculously lacking in modern games.
Shepard, over here.
You gotta casualize him so Johnny McDumbass, who's never played a video game before, can feel good about himself when he plays for the first time.
What happened here?
Our gunship was shot down. We barely made it.
And what
We're trying
else?
to contact our ship.
No. There's one in the gunship, but it's gonna be crawling with those things.
We're still on gameplay,
Stay here, son.
if I
We'll get you
remember
out of here.
right. I was still on the gameplay. It felt alright. The biggest problem I
Come
had
on.
with the gameplay was,
Let's get to that gunship.
you know, the same thing I had a huge problem with in the Gears of War series, or at least the first two, because this is the only one I ever played. Stopped playing the Xbox at all long before Gears of War 3 came out. Anyway, it's the whole A does everything, except in my case it's caps lock, because A is obviously left on a keyboard. What was I looking at here? Oh, here, I think I was trying to figure out how to use health kits or access the inventory. I mean, it forcibly gave you a tutorial on everything but this. Why? I mean, if you're gonna force tutorials on people despite them stating that they don't want them on at all, be consistent about it
What
at
the
least.
hell are those things?
Yeah, anyway, it's the whole A does everything. I mean, quite a few times in combat later on in the demo, I died not because I got bested in battle, but because, you know, I was trying to move from cover to cover, or dodge out of the way, well, move from cover to cover by sprinting or dodge out of the way, and Shepard would just, you know, slam up against the wall to take cover, because that button does practically everything. And it's definitely a side effect of being a console game and console gamepads not having very many buttons to work with. But I'm sure even the 360 controller had enough buttons to not have to map every important action to the same one. And that stupid lens flare again. You know, strangely enough, that little radar that showed up in the bottom right corner, I don't think I ever actually noticed that while playing. Yes, the fact that it only pops up when you have the pause screen up is probably part of it. Not pause screen, but the little tactical display thingamabobber. Well, what else to go on? What else can I go over? Well, what little they played in the demo, the music of what little music they played in the demo, I have to say I liked it. It's kind of refreshing to hear, you know, some proper orchestral action music and that sort of thing. And voice acting seemed pretty good. Oh, here, I just recorded this little bit because conveniently while Fraps was off, I ran up, took cover behind that object and got some really ridiculous Hall of Mirrors effect. Also, this water looks like shit. Yeah, the voice acting wasn't bad. It got a bit, I don't know, too cheesy and goofy for my tastes when they brought in the proper crew members later on in the demo. I got a little bit of noise pollution. Here's the place I was supposed to go. That reminds me, I completely missed
By a downed gunship in the harbor.
missed an
I'm activating his
opportunity
distress
to
beacon.
saw
Send
something
support.
ridiculously
Get that wounded down
predictable
here.
because I don't have the video's audio
Lieutenant!
playing at the moment.
Damn it! I lost the signal.
Let's hope that beacon does its job.
But I
And
guess
fast,
I'll
leave that
just
company.
say it was the... Thanks. I owe you one line. It's like, come on, you could have thought of something better than that for that line of dialogue. You could have thought of something original instead of that damn cliche. This goes a little bit into the spoiler territory, but it's a demo, so who cares? But I wasn't particularly enthusiastic about, you know, this fight. What the hell is that going on in the middle of the screen? Sort of particle effect that keeps looping itself while the game is paused. Anyway, really was not impressed or enthusiastic at all about, you know, how this fight was set up. Endless waves of enemies that you can never win against. But conveniently, you're saved as soon as you run out of ammo. Screw this. Well, I guess that really the last thing I have to say anything about that wouldn't be just redundant. This particular piece of the graphical fidelity of the game is fucking terrible, and it should feel bad if that were possible
You and me both.
for an inanimate object to feel things. The multiplayer.
There's more of them.
Well, I think I managed to get maybe 3 minutes of gameplay in. And, well, basically, it just seems like your bog standard wave defense thing with special Mass Effect abilities instead of, you know, just shooting things with guns until the next wave starts. Not really all that exciting, and I'm not a big fan of them locking out, you know, anything but one particular species gender combination for people who are just starting out.
Let's go.
Plus, there seems to be some sort of in-game store for, you know, equipment. I don't know. Is that going to be financed by funds, or air quotes funds, that you earn in the game, or is that just going to be more DLC bullshit?
Welcome back, Shepard.
Thanks.
But really, the main reason I didn't play the
Shepard,
multiplayer parts
Come on.
pretty much at all is it's impossible to find a match.
I'm not going.
At least impossible to find one that's playable.
You saw those men back there. There's a million
Like,
more
out of the
linemen. They need
10
to
times I
leave.
tried to search for a match, twice I got
fight
disconnected
together,
before
Anderson.
I even
It's a fight we
started to
can't win.
connect.
Not without help.
However the hell that
We need
works.
every species and all their ships
And
to even
then
have a chance at defeating the Reapers.
8 other times I'd pop into a
Talk
lobby
to the council. Convince them to help
and,
us.
you know, I'd ready
What if
up
they won't
because
listen?
what do I have to do
Then make them listen.
before
Now go.
starting the
Let's
battle?
go.
I
And
don't
then
take
everybody
no
else in the lobby
anymore.
either
Remember?
just leaves or sits around doing
City is
fuck all.
reinstated.
And I
Commander,
finally get into a match after everybody
you have to
left one lobby, and then some
I'll be back for
some
you.
random guy
It'll bring
joins
every
in,
fleet I
gets a
can.
shit ton of kills, dies once, and then rage quits
Good luck.
because, God forbid,
too,
he
Jim.
wait 30 seconds for the next wave. Dumbass. And honestly, it just feels tacked on. Like, We don't think we can ship a game these days without shipping some sort of multiplayer, so you better put that in the game. Oh, also a mixture of pre-rendered cutscenes with real-time rendering and random parts and parts that show Shepard. Honestly, everything they're showing here could have been done in real time. None of this needed to be pre-rendered. Oh, but they might not have been able to put that flare effect. That really stupid horizontal flare effect. By the way, it's that kid. Oh, you can't save me. I don't know, I think Shepard could have saved you, but no, you're dead. Goodbye. Also, holy shit, this cutscene looks really, really terrible in this preview window at the low frame rate I'm getting. Nice emotion, Shepard. You had it for all of like 5 seconds. Yeah. I think it's about time to wrap this up. And just leave the rest of the gameplay in for viewing enjoyment, possibly. All in all, it seems alright. I didn't exactly expect anything going into it, of course, because I really had no interest in the previous games. And to be perfectly honest, the only reason I watched 20 videos, or was it 25? Something like that. Or the only reason I watched 20-something videos of Mass Effect 2 was because it was in Excalibur's playthrough. And, you know, kind of like Dante and the Devil May Cry and Metal Gear Solid 3, not even that is really able... Not even the Excalibur effect is able to make it interesting enough to watch.
We land, get the females, and leave before anyone changes their mind.
Anyway, it seems alright.
I still don't trust a
Really
word
terrible
they say.
graphical fidelity because...
Let diplomacy play
Oh,
out.
it's a console
You'll
game.
get what you want.
These females are the best,
And,
probably
well,
last
selective
for my
fidelity,
people.
I'd say is
We'll
more
bring them
accurate.
back, Rex. Don't worry.
And
appreciate that,
gameplay isn't
Liara.
terribly interesting to
I
me.
wouldn't want anyone else along
It's
for
all
the
right for
ride.
what it is, but it's not terribly interesting.
I suppose I can
And-
make room for you too, Garrus.
Figured you'd gone
Honestly,
soft
some of the
sitting
character
on your
interaction
throne.
with
Forgot how to
your
hold a
personal
gun.
crew is
Commander, I have a
just too
Solarian base on
cheesy and
sensors.
goofing around for my
Set her down.
tastes. Particularly this guy's voice actor. All in all, I don't know. It seems all right, but I'm not going to be spending
Commander,
$60
Solarian
on
ground
it
control
anytime
systems don't have
soon.
clearance to land.
Tell them the Dolatress authorized this
It is
herself.
$60, right? So.
I knew they'd never keep their word.
What am I saying?
Let's
It's
see them
EA. Of
try
course
to
they're going to
stop
charge
a
$60 for the
airdrop.
PC version. Even though you
Rex!
don't have to pay any publishing fees to the PC. Whoa.
We have an unauthorized
Somebody
landing.
like floating in midair and
And who authorized you
a little,
to hold
or a
my
couple
race
seconds ago in the
hostage?
cutscene. The hell? Okay, that's it. I'll just hop out of this preview window. I managed to drag this on for about half the video, and
Commander Shepard, restrain your colleague.
well,
We only found
I'll
out about
close
this
it out
transfer
here.
a few
Hope you
moments
enjoyed
ago.
it, and see you next time.
I'd like to avoid a diplomatic incident,
As would we.
but you have something valuable to Rex.
Something worth dying for.
This matter can be resolved, but I must insist you remain under guard.
And if we insist otherwise,
You'll have another war on your hands.
Anything goes wrong and all bets are off.
We should look at that checkpoint again.
Are you okay?
Containment shield is holding. We'll try to repair if necessary. Can't speak for Krogan's health, however.
I'm fine, Commander.
Females kept secret. Possibly a mole in STG. Could be indoctrinated. If no Krogan alliance with Turians, Reaper's left unchallenged.
We'll do more than challenge them.
Shepard, meet us at next checkpoint. Cerberus likely to target. Hurry! Next checkpoint!
Where's Minerva team? They aren't responding.
Shepard, get cracking! I'll try to draw some of their fire.
Shepard, last attack compromised security systems. Attempting to compensate.
Hang on. We're trying to get to you, Morty.
Understood. Got it.
That did it. Cerberus isn't fooling around.
They're capable of anything.
Commander, stay back. Hostiles just down the hall.
Captain Kirahi,
It's Major now. Always hoped we would work together again.
is there an easier way around?
You could say that.
How do I not have one of those?
Go, Commander! I'll cover you!
Orion Squad, your orders on a hold position and block access to next checkpoint.
Looks like Cerberus got some upgrades.
I'll cover you, Commander!
Taking them head on may not be the best idea.
try to flank them instead. We have to take out those turrets! sure Cerberus isn't done.
Alert. Quarantine containment shield has sustained damage. Please confirm security access.
Go, Commander, before they get to the Krogan. Go, Commander, before they get to the Krogan.
Scanning. Scan aborted. Please try again. Scanning.
Before they get to the Krogan.
Access confirmed.
Morton was right. Cerberus must have been tipped off. They got here too fast.
Every war has its traitors.
Careful, we've got live Mary down here.
More up top!
Find cover! We've got stairs over there, Shepard. Take the high ground. Affirmative! Looks like it. You mean business? Find cover! We've got stairs over there, Shepard. Take the high ground. Headed up top.
Squad, interrupt the female at checkpoint 2. Take her out. Get down.
Cerberus outside pod, Shepard. Need assistance.
Take him out! Get him away from the female!
Cerberus outside pod, Shepard. Need assistance. Containment shield weakening, Shepard. Containment shield weakening, Shepard. We're under fire. Krogan can't take much more. Shepard, suspect Cerberus has cut power. Can't progress until you reroute emergency systems.
As you wish. Look around. There must be a power conduit nearby.
Now online.
Excellent. Can clear us. Wait! Another
408.